Hey everyone, I'm Jasmine, and I want to thank you guys for watching my video and my YouTube channel. So thank y'all. I like watching Married at First Sight. We've already had the first episode on last week that I watched. So I am a little late, but this will be the start of my reviews for the show. What inspired me to do this is just the fact that I just love the show, and my family and we like to do group text messages. And so in those messages, we chat about the show a lot, and it is hilarious. And I really enjoy the conversations that we have. And so that inspired me to do reviews on the show. So here I am. I don't know if you guys watched the pre-shows prior to the shows prior to the premiere of the season 13. But I did. I watched the matchmaking show episode, and I watched the episode afterwards with the host Kevin Frazier and a host of panels, just giving their thoughts on the couples and each individual, sharing the positive, sharing the negative, the red flags, and just kind of getting their votes in on who they think will last. Now, in this episode as well, they had guest couples from previous seasons, and I thought that was pretty cool, as well as other guests. I think Paige was on there, and there was another girl from a prior season who was on there with Paige as well. I can't remember her name. Let me look at my notes. I can't remember her name. Emily or something like that, I think. Well, anyways, on that episode, they kind of went into depth about their thoughts on these couples and each individual, and just pinpointing some of the things they see as positives, and then some things that they see as a concern that could be a detriment to the success of their process or their marriage. And so, as you know, last week, season 13 episode premiered, and they showed first the wedding day for Bao and Johnny. And so let's just I just want to talk to y'all a little bit about, some of the positives and the negatives for Bao and Johnny. And then I guess I'll give my guess on whether or not they will stay together, decide to stay together at the end of the season. Okay, so let's talk about Bao first. Now, I gotta be honest. Before I even get into, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, after watching the episode, and I was seeing how Bo was acting, she kind of got on my nerves a little bit. Now, initially I liked her, and I still do like her, but she's kind of getting on my nerves, and I see that, I kind of see where there could be a problem. Okay, so since we on the negative, right? Let's just start with that. Okay, so first of all, during the matchmaking episode, Bo gave the experts something like a list of the people that she did not want them to contact. Okay, so the experts were concerned because to them it kind of signified, okay, she's controlling or maybe even picky, so that was a concern. And during the wedding on the premiere episode, that kind of solidified that concern. So during the wedding, Bo, she made like a big deal out of she discovered that Johnny likes sports. You know how it is, like, okay, on their wedding day, they may get a letter and maybe like a little gift or something from the husband or the wife. Okay, so Johnny gave her a letter, gave her a gift, and it kind of give you a little idea, some type of insight on who the person is or the type of things they like. So she discovered that Johnny likes sports. Okay, that's a common thing, right? Who doesn't like sports? You know, what guy doesn't like sports? It's not uncommon. So this girl freaked out because Johnny likes sports. Okay, so what? So in her mind, she's already thinking negative. She has already like canceled out everything basically before even giving it a try, just off of the fact that he likes sports. She's already just sending their marriage to hell. She's just like, this is not going to work. Guys in my past who are into sports, you know, it never works out. And I thought that was just so ridiculous. The most ridiculous thing I have ever heard in my life. And so that kind of made me think, Bao, she's a good person. Let's do a little bit of positive. She seemed like she's a nice lady. You know, she seemed like she's very intelligent, and driven and everything of that sort. And even have a little bit of a fun side. She seemed like, you know, she even got a fun side with the right people around, under the, you know, with the right environment. They can pull out that fun side in her, because you can see at the bachelorette party, she was riding a bull. She was having a bit of a good time. And so I can see the good in her, but I really think that, you know, there is a problem, and this problem can really determine, you know, whether or not they will be able to make it. So Bo, she sweat the little things. So I don't know who told me this before. It's somebody. I don't know if it was my mom. They said, keep the small things small, right? So, you know, she seemed to like blow up little things, you know. By him being a sports fan, I don't understand why you would take that and magnify the situation. Something as simple as that, which is a great quality. You would take something as simple as that and you would magnify it and make it, you know, like, oh my God, we're doomed. Because in my past, the guys who were sports fans, it never worked out. That is so silly. I don't know if it's because she... maybe deep down, like sometimes, you know how we're fearful of things and so we self-sabotage. Maybe that could be her way of self-sabotage. It's like she just take little things and make it so big. And but anyways, I was like, oh my God, if she's doing this already, I just can't even imagine how she's going to be acting throughout this process, because that was so silly to me. Okay, so anyhow, she you know what? She also both of them are Vietnamese, so that's a positive, and they will be the first Vietnamese couple on the show. And so I really, really hope that they make it and they do very well and it works out, because, you know, they're the first Vietnamese couple, and so they got to represent, you know, that would be so awesome. So here's the thing. Bo and Johnny, when they first saw each other, you know, at the wedding, on their wedding day, they it came out that they knew each other. They already know each other. So I'm guessing that could be a positive, right? If they, well, okay. I say that because of how they met each other. So Johnny kind of talks a little bit about how they met each other. And so he says, you know, I think when both of them were in school, they were in some type of program or organization or whatever for an Asian group or something like that. And so that's how they met each other. He said he always thought she was cool, but he never like approached her or anything, which leads me to this about Johnny, a negative. Johnny has an issue with being assertive. I think in a sense, yes, he is insecure, which is the total opposite of what Bao wants. Because I think she did specify that, you know, she wants a man who take charge. And I don't think that Johnny is that guy. And like any other, I think many women would want that quality in a man, to be assertive, you know. Johnny said something that scared me. He said that pretty much he wants the girl, he preferred that the girl like him more than he like her, or that she like him first and that she tell him, and then he'll feel more comfortable liking her or telling her his true feelings, his feelings about her. And I thought that was crazy. I'm like, you want the girl to like you more than you like her? You know, to me that's kind of like a red flag. So yeah, I think he has some insecurities and stuff, and that he is not assertive enough, and that could be a problem within their marriage. However, that is the only concern I have with Johnny. Now, I do think, you know, with the right partner and, you know, through communication and, you know, advice and everything from the experts, I think that could be resolved, because Johnny, he does seem like overall he's a good guy, and I just, it's just something about his demeanor, something about him where I really think, you know, he's a good guy. And I think that overall, if he really work at it, and if he's willing to step outside of his comfort and be his comfort zone and just be a little bit more vulnerable to the process and willing to make some changes, right? Being more assertive, taking those steps, you know, being more of a take charge type of man, I think he got what it takes to you know, make it work. And so with that said, Elizabeth said something. They had two guests, right, on a there was a show prior to the season 13 premiere, and it had the host Kevin Frazier and a panel of people. They were women, and they were all, you know, giving their thoughts on the couples, on the individuals, and whether or not they thought that they would make it. And so they had guest couples. So for Beau and Johnny, they had Elizabeth and Jamie as the guest couple. You know, Elizabeth and Jamie, they were from a prior season. And so one thing Elizabeth said that I agree with, and that also, it was well said. She said, Beau, I hope I'm saying her name right. Is it Beau? Beau has to get out of her own way. That is exactly how I feel. I feel like she isn't a bad person, even though she has ways that I think, you know, she can be a nuisance, right? And I think that her ways can really get in the way of the success of her marriage. But if she could just keep the small things small and do as Elizabeth advised and just get out of her own way, then that will be her contribution, right, to making the marriage work. And if Johnny could just be more assertive, right, and allow himself to be vulnerable enough to feel. Don't, you know, get rid of that whole idea that, oh, I want her to like me more. You know, something wrong with that. You got to fix that, you know. Because a woman is not going for that, okay? But if he can get out of that mindset and just be willing to make those changes, you know, that he need, you know, and being more assertive, I think that they'd be a great couple. Because what if, I don't know, but I just feel like sometimes, you know, like you might meet somebody, and they could be the right person for you, but just not right now. So they know each other. They have known each other from the past, right? And maybe they hadn't got together. Beside the fact that Johnny is not a take charge man, which is probably why they didn't get together. Because, you know, if he was an assertive man, he would have approached her if she was as dope as he say she is. But he didn't. But besides that, you know, sometimes, back to my point, sometimes, you know, people cross your path and they could be for you, but just not at that time. So maybe this is the time. So maybe, you know, it's not a coincidence, you know, that they met each other at the altar, right? I don't know. So for that reason, and also because I think that overall they are good, you know, good people overall. And I think that this is what they want. They want marriage, right? I don't know. I'm concerned though. I'm still concerned. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that they are going to work. I think they're going to say yes. They're going to stay married. Okay, so that's all I got to say about them. I have notes all over the place, y'all. It's just crazy. Because my thoughts be everywhere. And I just be having a lot of things that I want to say. So, I really thank y'all for watching. And I know I'm late, but it's okay, you know. And I look forward to seeing episode 2. And I look forward to getting back on and talking to y'all about episode 2. So in the meantime, you guys be blessed of the Lord. And come back and see me, okay? Thank you. Bye.